Now let's begin with the new chapter. This chapter is all about vocabulary and phrases that you can use in interview. So the vocabulary that I'm talking about, I'm going to give you a lot of adjectives that you can use while describing yourself. So what are adjectives? Adjectives are basically describing words. किसी भी चीज को अगर हमें डिस्क्राइब करना होता है या किसी भी पर्सन को डिस्क्राइब करना होता है तो एक वर्ड पर्टिकुलर जो हम यूज करते हैं दैट वर्ड इज कॉल्ड एडजेक्टिव. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई टॉक अबाउट माय सेल्फ, आई एम अ चेयरफुल पर्सन. तो चेयरफुल जो है वो एडजेक्टिव है टू डिफाइन व्हाट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन आई एम. Now let's start with some of the easier adjectives that you can use in your interview to describe yourself. Easygoing. The first one is easygoing. A relaxed person who is easy to get along with. So you are someone जो कि easily हर एक के साथ friendly हो जाता है and अपना काम निकलवा लेता है. Then you are easygoing. Hardworking. Well, that's self-explanatory, but I'll explain. Someone who works well and isn't lazy. If you're this person, then mention that you're hard. Committed. A person who is loyal to a project or person. So, if you are a person जो अपने projects को लेके बहुत committed होता है, committedly खत्म करना होता है, then you're a committed person. Trustworthy. Someone who you can rely on. Honest. Someone who tells the truth, right? Focused, someone who is not easily distracted. If you have all these qualities, then you can mention whichever one you like the most, or you are convinced for any one of these. You can mention whichever you get. Now let's go on to some of the more fancier ones, some of the more impressive ones. So these adjectives are more impressive and they will definitely leave a good impression on your interviewer. So I would recommend use these rather than using the other ones. But if you fumble in between or या फिर आपको याद नहीं आते हैं ये difficult adjectives, then you can use those easier ones. Let's start with this one. Considerate. Considerate. Someone who is kind and helpful is considerate, right? Example, my considerate behavior has helped me connect with clients quite easily. So, अगर आप सेल्स के जॉब में जा रहे हैं या किसी भी ऐसी जॉब में जहां पर क्लाइंट्स की को कन्विंस करने की जरूरत होती है, then you can use this line and you can use this adjective. Another example that I'm going to give, I have always been considerate towards my co-employees. So a considerate person will not only be considerate about the feelings of the client, but also of the co-employees, right? So co-employees के साथ अगर आप considerate होगे, अपने supervisor के साथ considerate होगे, that will add on to your personality because that is what an employer wants, a peaceful environment in his company. Methodical. Now who's methodical? A person who pays attention to details and works in a logical way. अब इस way को आप बहुत बार ये सोचते होंगे that okay, I'm a person जो logically work करता है, right? But then who you are? आप logically work करते हैं and details पे attention देते हैं. But then who you are? You're a methodical person, right? So example will be, I believe I am highly methodical, hence my decision making is never biased. So a person who applies logic and pays attention to detail can never be biased. Let's go on to the next one. Next one is a very beautiful word, gregarious. Gregarious. A very sociable person. Sometimes you just say, I'm a sociable person. But that is a very casual word. You can use that also. But if you use gregarious, it will sound very impressive, right? So let's see some of the examples to understand it better. Due to my gregarious personality, I am always able to convince my clients because I'm sociable. I can talk. Okay, I can make conversation. That is why I can convince my clients. Second example, as I am quite gregarious, it's easy for me to organize inter-school competition. So, if you're someone who is going to apply for a teacher's job, this one's for you. That you need to mention that you are quite sociable person. You can make conversation very easily, and hence you are good. You are good candidate for organizing inter-school competition. You can help students and you can help other teachers. Now let's go on to the next adjective, proactive. Someone who takes steps to complete tasks without supervision. Without supervision. That means आपको बार-बार reminder देने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. If you're that person, then you're proactive. Example for this one, I believe I'm proactive in identifying and preventing potential problems. So basically, if you're a proactive person, so you don't need any kind of supervision. So whenever you see a problem in your project, आप उसको instantly solve कर लेंगे. आपको किसी को reminder देना नहीं पड़ेगा that you have to solve this problem or you have to do this work. You will be self-responsible. Let's come on to the next adjective, resourceful. Skilled at solving problems and making decisions. This one is similar to the last one, but there are few differences. I'll explain you why. So the example is, I learned to be a resourceful person from my previous job as there were situations during the pandemic that we had to handle. So this one, इसमें ये भी show हो रहा है इस example में that you're talking about your previous job. You're actually appreciating your previous job for teaching you to be resourceful, right? So this shows the quality of appreciation that you have, right? And also now you have become a resourceful person because of that job. So you can use this in any interview. I think this can be used. It's a very general example. Let's go on to the next adjective, which is reliable. A person that can be trusted or believed. So basically trustworthy हमने basic adjectives में देखा था कि trustworthy is one of the words. तो ये उसी का दूसरा word है reliable. Example, in my recommendation, my boss has mentioned how reliable I am as a person. ठीक है, recommendation तो I think सारे bosses लिखते ही है कि want to change the job और आप friendly way में job अपनी छोड़कर आए, then recommendation लिखेंगे where he can mention that you are a reliable person, right? Or another example, my previous company relied on my expertise in anything ... for the ABC project. So you can this way put this word in any of your skills that you have and explain it to them that you were relied upon for this expertise for any project that you have done. Let's go on to another adjective, diligent. Diligent. This one is very strong, okay? Someone who works hard. Someone who is hardworking. जैसे कि basic words में we learn hardworking is a word, right? जो हम अपने लिए use कर सकते हैं. Then उसकी जगह अगर हम diligent use करेंगे, this will look more impressive. Someone who works hard is diligent. Example, I was always diligent in my previous job and hence was successful in doing multiple projects or assignments last year. Second example will be, I was assigned to lead a group project because of my diligent personality. So if you have a diligent personality, if you're a hard-working person, then do use this word because it will actually make a good impression. Now let's come on to bona fide. Anything that is genuine or real. Now I'll tell you how to use it for yourself. I am a bona fide expert in ... Any field that you're expert in, you can mention it here, right? Now let's see the Last adjective, prudent. Someone who shows care and thought for the future of the company. I think many of you will feel that I am this person and you would want to use this word. Go ahead and use this word. For example, my prudent attitude towards the company or organization will help us in uplifting the sales. I think all of us can use this particular sentence to impress the interviewer. Now I'm going to talk about some of the phrases. In fact, I'm going to give you some of the phrases that you can use in your interview, and it will be easy for you to talk about your own self. Describing your experience. If you are going to describe your experience as I was discussing in the previous chapter, then you can use certain lines that I'm going to talk about. Phrase 1. I have 5 years of experience as a teacher or in retail or as any of the jobs that you were in. Second phrase will be, I worked in retail for 7 years and was promoted to manager 2 years back. You can mention this however you want to. If अगर आपकी कोई भी promotion हुई हो, you can actually change this and make it your own. Let's see the third phrase. I studied at the University of Delhi. So basically, this is how you can mention whichever university you studied in. Let's see the fourth phrase. I worked for GGAC as a lawyer. So this is how you tell them what position you worked in and which company you worked for. Now that we are done with the one-liners and the basic phrases, let's move on to some of the more complex and I would say impressive phrases that you can use describing your goals for the future and why you want this job. You can insert any of these wherever it's required in your answer. First one is, I am looking to further enhance my skills as a ... whatever your position is, whatever your job is. Second one, I feel my skill set is a perfect fit for your team and I can contribute by however you can contribute. Third one, I would be proud to work for a company with such a long history of leadership in the industry. So basically, if you're applying for a company which is very famous, okay, so you can mention this statement to them. Let's look on to the fourth phrase. This school is known for promoting ethical values among students, which I highly support and include in my teaching. If you're a teacher, you must use this line because it's common to all, I think, and you all can use this, right? Let's go on to the fifth one. This company not only will give me a good working environment, but also provide me a great platform to showcase my skills at its best. Everyone can use this. This is a very generic statement. You all can use this phrase. That's it for this chapter. See you in the next.